amusement park in Pittsburgh, Kennywood, Josh, okay? They started using, that's Pittsburgh's amusement parks, okay? It's like Six Flags Atlanta. Kennywood started using hunts this year. Boycott of the amusement park. I am not kidding you.
Oh my goodness.
They had to go back to Heinz. There's even, they say that, you know, that, yes, that is how big it is. You have to, it's got to be. I once was at a nightclub I worked at, and we had this sort of like, you'll get this box of condiments, you know, from when you order out and all that sort of stuff. I spent my time picking through the ketchups and throwing away all the ones that weren't Heinz.
Oh my God.
That's a huge.
Because ketchup is such an afterthought to me. It's like, who cares what kind of brand ketchup? It's like, to me, it's like sugar.
Well, I understand.
Who cares about if it's baking sugar or like whatever sugar?
Look, I mean, it's either Heinz or it's, if you're talking to somebody from Pittsburgh, I mean, this is like, Pittsburghers can take a lot of ribbing. Oh, they can take a lot of ribbing. They will not accept. You'll get something there if you put ketchup on a table that is not Heinz. I am telling you right there. Even more than Iron City beer. Absolutely, yes. Here we go.
I learn something every day.
Anyway, here we go. Tri-City Sports Now. I'm telling Josh Brown here about Pittsburgh cuisine, but I do love. Well, we're also talking about what Waffle House as well. I love peaches. I mean, and all this. Now you're from Georgia. See, I'm the former South Carolinian. Now here's something else we can fight about in all this is you're obviously going to be the Georgia peach person, and I'm going to be the South Carolina peach person. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, Georgia's weird. Like South Georgia, it's all peaches, right? I'm from North Georgia. We don't really associate with South Georgia.
Okay.
Anything south of Macon, we don't really recognize as being valid. Don't ever go to South Georgia.
So you don't like that old ballpark in Waycross? I don't even know if it still exists or anything like that. But where, like where the Milwaukee Braves once had a farm club and all that, and a lot of Braves superstars went through Waycross.
What? I didn't know that.
You've never seen that? There's a famous ballpark. I think it's now been renovated, and it's maybe only used for high school football. But I mean, if you go down US 1 in Waycross, Georgia, you're going to see the stadium. And I've done it's very distinct. I mean, you cannot miss it. And you look at it and you just start saying, I wonder if Hank Aaron played there. I mean, you just have to ask that as you drive by it. And yes, for years, I know the Milwaukee Braves had a farm club in Waycross, Georgia, which is irony of irony. Yes.
Okay.
And all that. So yeah, when Ron Neckeye struck out his 27 Welch Miners for the Bristol Twins, he struck out, the Welch Miners were the Appalachian League affiliate of the Boston Braves. That was way back when, in 52.
We do recognize Cairo, Georgia, which is way down near the Fort line, home of Jackie Robinson. And
yes.
Atlanta Braves great, one of my favorites, Mr. Willie Harris.
There you go. I like Exit 1 on 95, I guess. That's the first time you have all those places where you get to now,
all the peaches.
Yeah, and the peanuts and all that sort of stuff, and the gas stations and all that. So, yeah, if you drive, of course, you go to Florida in the right time, you got to stop at the rest area for the free orange juice and all that. What are we talking about? This is what happens when you have a 6-game lead. What's wrong with Adam Duvall? He started off 11 for 22, now he's 6 for 46. What's going on there?
I think he's, he reminds me of, what's his name? Oh, Adam Duvall. Yeah, that's right. The guy that can't really hit baseball.
He has 2 years of 30-plus home runs.
I know, but baseball's weird, and that guy doesn't exist anymore. And we saw it last year, and he's nothing but a strikeout machine. And listen, I'm happy for what he did in AAA. He broke the season single record for the Gwinnett Stripers and Dingers, but I called it. I said, I don't care about Dingers in AAA. I just don't care about it. I hope he does well, but I think he's going to be 2018 Adam Duvall, and I think he tries to just hit so much for power that he's an easy out. If you watch how they pitch him, if they pitch him anything like low and away, I mean, he strikes out at figure it out, and they just pitch him well and away. So, yeah.
We've seen what we can for Duvall. Like I said, he started 11 for 22, but is now 6 for 46. And I guess that means that Austin Riley can't come back soon enough. Now, he had been slumping a little bit. His average was down to 242. But now they say no surgery, and maybe he could be back in a couple of weeks and all this. How big is this for the Atlanta Braves?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if... Listen, I am Austin Riley's biggest fan on the Twitters. I've defended him, and I think he's a fantastic young hitter. But I think what he's going through is a real, slump. And I don't know if, what he did the first couple weeks of his MLB career was right. But I don't know if he's ready to be a formidable, four-hole cleanup kind of guy yet. And I think he will be. I just don't know. I've said it before in the program. If he doesn't come back, if he's not on the playoff roster, I don't think it's going to hurt the Braves this year. I think he's got a bright future. I think he's fantastic, but I just don't know if he's got it right now. He's still so young, so it's not like if he does struggle this year, okay, Braves fans will freak out on Twitter, as they always do. But I don't think they should. I think he's still going to be good. I just think he's a little young.
Okay. So, yeah, and I can see that. I know where you're going.
Yeah. And I kind of compared him to Adam Dunn, and that might be a bad comparison, but...
I would hope that Riley would hit for a higher average than Dunn.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Dunn would hit like 220 with 40 bombs.
Yeah.
I think Riley could be like a 250-ish guy with power. I mean, really, like, very much, I mean, it sounds crazy, but Andrew Jones was that guy. Andrew Jones every year, 250-ish, a bunch of bombs, and maybe Riley could be like that kind of profile.
Well, I mean, it seems to be the modern-day player. I mean, we kind of bashed Bryce Harper for his 249 average last year and all this, but yes, that 250 with 30 bombs seems to be what, the analytics people are saying. Now, don't sacrifice your power for average. This sort of, don't worry about strikeouts, and all this. And it breaks my heart because, I mean, I always used to be runner at third, less than 2 out. He can be brought home with an out. And that made contact hitting so important. You didn't want to line out to the shortstop, but you get the idea of what we're trying to say here and such. Let's talk a little bit about then the woes of the Braves, the bullpen. Let's say 10-8 loss yesterday. It seems as if the bullpen, I mean, they made so many deals getting Green, for instance, shoring up the bullpen and such, but it still seems that they're not necessarily that reliable. I'm now really beginning to doubt Newcomb as a relief pitcher, Sean Newcomb. Tell me what your thoughts are right now on the bullpen. It seems like we're nitpicking because the team has a 6-game lead in first place, but then again, the ball game's 10-8 yesterday. Tell me a little bit about what your thoughts are right now on the Braves bullpen. Can it be effective by the time October rolls around?
Well, you got to give Julio Teheran a lot of blame for yesterday's loss.
Sure.
I think he caught a lot of hate on Twitter from a bunch of people that don't know any better, and he's had a fantastic year, and I think Julio Teheran's great. I think he's maybe the second best starter on the team, but I'm not really worried about the bullpen yet. I don't think that the last couple weeks has been an indictment on the new guys that Anthopoulos brought over, like Shane Green and Melanson and Chris Martin. I think those guys are going to be fine. I do. In regards to Newcomb, I don't know. I think that his bullpen role has been kind of a little bit of a savior to his career. It seemed like once he got in the bullpen, he kind of figured things out. But I don't know if I put too much stock into yesterday for him. I think, Newcomb's weird. he's got such great stuff. His curveball's fantastic. His stuff is great, but you kind of never know what you're going to get with him. And I don't say too much bad things about him because his dad follows me on Twitter, as you know, Mark.
Yeah, no.
You know,
I just,
kind of how I operate.
I just sort of, after seeing him go, the longest outing pitch-wise last year when he went 8 2/3 in his no-hitter attempt and such, and I just started, I'm not sure that I want lefty with a little bit of control problems, or maybe a lot of control problems, in the bullpen. If he's a starting pitcher and he starts, I can work that out. I can do that. Two things I don't want out of my relief pitchers: guys who give up a lot of home runs, guys who have bad control. Maybe if he's a closer, this is Mitch Wild thing, Williams, or even before that, a Mark Clear seemed to walk as many as he struck out, but it seemed like, okay, we'll trade the 3 strikeouts for the 3 walks. That's fine, okay? We'll do that sort of thing. In the 9th inning, it's okay. But, other than that, if you're a situational lefty, if you're not closer, I kind of want you to be able to throw some strikes, and I don't want you to be dishing up gopher balls. I don't want you to be throwing hanging curveballs.
Yeah. I think another factor, too, is the analytics that are given to hitters right now. It's crazy. Like the iPads in the dugouts, some of these guys are, if you look across the whole league at what bullpens are doing, it's a joke. It is a joke. The Atlanta Braves actually have the same number of clean 1, 2, 3 innings after, I think, the 6th inning than the Dodgers have. So, like, most teams, most really good teams, like late in games, have a really tough time getting guys out. I think, and this is just a theory, but I think a lot of it is because analytics have really helped hitters late into games. Even look at some of the big names that got picked up at the trade deadline by other teams. Sam Dyson. A bunch of these guys have just been terrible.
Well,
and I think another factor is just new teams too, and that might be forgiving them a little too much. But hey, when you have to switch teams in the middle of the season without any notice, that can mess you up as well. Not that that's Sean Newcomb.
I'm going to just put it this way: who do you want to face? A tired Dallas Keuchel or a fresh Jerry Blevins? One is obviously the superior pitcher to the other, and if it's the 7th inning, come on. And forgive me if I'm that old school or something, but I think I rest my case.
Right. Well, a lot of it is, we've been saying this for 3 years, Mark.
Yeah.
When the starting pitcher is dealing and doing really well, and even if it's like a 1-0 game, who cares about a pinch hit opportunity? Just leave that guy in because he's getting the other team out. He's doing really good. And we saw it the other night when Steven Matz got pulled after 70-some pitches by the Mets.
That was and Callaway and
that happens all the time.
Well, that's why you like Snitker, although I still will not forgive him for 2017 opening day.
Snitker does the same thing.
I give you the 2017 opening day. I give you that and such. It's that at least Callaway doesn't go in there with Callaway like Callaway does and go to the reporters assuming he hasn't accosted them. And, at least he doesn't, come up with ridiculous excuses for the move.
Yeah.
And all this, but yes, sure. But modern baseball strategy will have you pull your hair out sometimes. Okay, I got 60 seconds left. The importance of the Dodgers series. I don't know. It'd be nicer to win it. I'll give you that. But I've seen teams that have, severely lost a season series come back to beat that team in the playoffs. So the impact, if you can tell me in about 40 seconds of that series, of this upcoming series.
I don't think it's a huge indictment on the playoffs because playoffs are weird, like you just said, Marky. Anything can happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's important. It'll be important to see if the Braves can go toe-to-toe with the long ball. That's what's important, the long ball, because that's how the Dodgers play. If they can go toe-to-toe with them with power, I think that maybe you're going to see them have a chance in the playoffs.
You got NFL preseason, the race in Bristol, and Braves and Dodgers. This is a great sports weekend. I like to think I'm a great sports talk show host. I know that Josh Brown is a great podcaster. Knockahoma Nation with him and Keith Hendricks. We'll see you next week. Tri-City Sports Now.
All right, my friend.
Yes, there we go. Hold on.
1420.